Bill Clinton actually showing up to testify and not pleading the fifth in regards to any of the questions he was asked regarding the e-files set an interesting precedent that I don't think a lot of the MAGA chuds who are absolutely convinced that Trump is completely innocent and that this is all indeed a hoax, I don't think they were expecting. Because there's been a slight ripple, there's been a slight change, there's been a slight shift in the discourse or the vibe regarding Bill Clinton. First off, I don't trust a word he says. Let me make that clear. This man was impeached for lying under oath, and I will never ever trust the word of someone who has already lied under oath. A lot of people think he was impeached for cheating on his wife, which, yeah, that was like the root cause of why he ended up having to lie under oath, right? But he was primarily impeached because he lied under oath. So, no, I don't trust a word the man says. I don't. But he did show up. And he answered all the questions. And I think that is the part that the MAGA chuds were not banking on. I think they assumed that any powerful person or any previous president would just do what Trump does and not engage in any way other than to say, I'm totally exonerated and an innocent person. If Bill Clinton can testify, so can Trump. And if you're watching my video and you're coming up with ways in your head right now for excuses for why Trump shouldn't have to testify, you're part of the problem. Everyone who was named, especially people who were named to the extent that Trump and Clinton were, need to testify. They need to answer for why they are in those files so consistently.
Exactly. It really does shine a spotlight on the difference between the two men, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Donald Trump, in his case in New York, pled the fifth how many hundreds of times? All he does is bark into a TV camera about how innocent he is, how everything is rigged against him, and how anybody that is trying to prosecute him or the judges that are overseeing the cases, how they're all crooked. Everybody's out to get Trump. So therefore, I'm not going to answer any questions. Anybody with any intelligence, anybody in my type of position would assert their Fifth Amendment, my apologies, so that they didn't get trapped in some gotcha moment. That's Trump. Bill Clinton shows up, answers every question. Just like his wife did in this very same instance. Just like his wife did back in the Benghazi hearings when Hillary Clinton testified for 11 hours without flinching. So, Republicans, if you truly want to get to the bottom of all of the Epstein shit, when are you calling Trump in? You demanded to hear from Bill and Hillary, right? A former president who was heavily named in the files, and his wife, who you claimed knew Jeffrey Epstein, but who you don't have any proof of her knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein. When are you calling Trump, a president who was heavily named in the files, and Melania, his wife, who you have photographic evidence of being friends with Jeffrey Epstein? When are you calling them in? That testimony by Bill Clinton, I think, puts Trump in an even worse spot. Puts the Republicans in an even worse spot. Oh, we're going to see if they come in and testify. We're going to get them now. All right, I'll come in and answer all your questions. As a matter of fact, demanded that it be done in public. Trump and Melania's turn.